Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. We're taking you to Washington, Indiana, back in September 1988. Can you imagine a quiet night, in this peaceful neighborhood? And then suddenly, the silence is broken by fire trucks.
Yeah, it's one of those events that really just stays with the town forever. 18-year-old Rebecca Harvey died in a house fire, and it turned out to be no accident.
Oh, wow. So right away, investigators suspected arson because they found gasoline.
Right, yeah. It went from a tragic accident to a possible murder investigation. And then on top of that, Rebecca's fiancé, Stephen Hendris, disappeared.
It sounds like a mystery novel.
It really does. It has all this classic elements.
Yeah.
A young woman killed a fiancé who's either a victim or a suspect.
Hmm.
And this small town having to face this darkness.
We're going to look at eyewitness accounts and all these different stories about their relationship. Hopefully we can figure out what really happened.
Sounds good. Well, we have to start with that night, the fire. The couple next door, Jackie and Carol Arnold, they had just gotten home from a trip, and around 3 a.m., Mr. Arnold woke up. He could smell smoke.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and when he looked out the window, the house next door was on fire. So, of course, they called the fire department immediately.
And I'm assuming the firefighters rushed over there, hoping that maybe someone got out.
Exactly. They were trying to put out the fire, hoping they could save someone. But once they got the fire out, they made a terrible discovery. There's a young woman. She was lying on a bed.
Oh, my gosh. So was it Rebecca?
Well, it took a few days. They had to use dental records. But yeah, it was Rebecca Harvey. And they found gasoline in the bedroom, so that's when everyone knew something wasn't right.
Makes sense. I mean, did they know if she was alive when the fire started?
Sergeant Bernery, one of the first responders, he said it was hard to tell. The fire was so intense, so that just added to the whole mystery.
Right, yeah. And then there's Stephen, her fiancé.
Exactly. They found his car there, but his wallet and keys were inside the house.
So was he a victim? Did he run away? Or could he have had something to do with this?
Those are the big questions.
Right.
And as the police started looking into their relationship, it just got more complicated. Some people said they were happy and in love, planning their wedding.
Okay, so the perfect couple.
Yeah, seemingly. But others said they fought a lot, that there was tension, so then you have this conflicting information. And that just deepens the mystery.
It really does feel like one of those puzzles where the pieces just won't fit.
Mhm.
You have Rebecca's death, the arson, and then Stephen disappears.
Yeah, and it's easy to forget. Relationships are complicated. People on the outside, they don't always see what's really going on.
Yeah.
So some saw a happy couple, but maybe that wasn't the whole story.
And then there's Stephen's past. I
Mhm.
mean, he attacked one of Rebecca's ex-boyfriends with a baseball bat
Right.
just a few months before the fire.
Right. That's a big red flag. It makes you wonder about his temper. Could he have hurt Rebecca?
That's what the investigators had to figure out. Was it a one-time thing? Or was he jealous and possessive?
Yeah, because knowing what was going on in his head is really important for this case.
Absolutely. So our team, we reached out to Stephen's younger sister, Felicia. She didn't want to be recorded, but she did talk to us about him.
That's helpful. What did she say?
She said he was a good guy, caring, he loved his family. She couldn't believe he'd hurt Rebecca. Said he was really happy about their future.
Interesting.
And she told us something else. Just a few days before the fire, Rebecca and Stephen called her. They were talking about wedding plans. Sounded happy and excited.
That's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? Makes you wonder if maybe Stephen was a victim too.
Oh, like someone else killed them both.
It's possible. Maybe they killed Stephen first, then set the fire to make it look like he did it.
Okay, so that would explain why he's missing. But then who would want to hurt them both? And why make it so elaborate?
Exactly. It's important to look at all the possibilities, not just get fixated on one theory.
True. And there was that rumor about Rebecca's ex-boyfriend, the one Stephen attacked.
Oh, right. People were saying he threatened them, so of course the police looked into him, but he had an alibi for that night.
So not him.
Well, he has since passed away, so there could be things we just don't know, but officially he was ruled out.
Okay. And then there are those electricians from Indianapolis, remember? They were in town around the same time. And get this, they worked at the same pizza place where Rebecca was a waitress.
Oh, yeah, I remember them. They were acting really strange.
Right. So they were at Potsy's Pizza, and they kept trying to get cocaine from the bartender.
Yeah.
And they even asked if they could stay at her place.
Wait, they asked the bartender that?
Yeah. And it gets weirder. She gave them a fake address, but somehow they found her real house.
Oh, wow. That's creepy.
Right. So definitely suspicious. Being in Washington at that time, knowing Rebecca, they were persons of interest.
But did they find anything connecting them to the crime?
Nope. No evidence. So were they just looking for drugs? Or was there something else going on? We don't know.
Another piece of the puzzle we're missing, so many interesting people, all with their own secrets. The more we look into this, the more questions we have.
It's frustrating. A young woman's dead, her fiancé's gone, there's a jealous ex and these shady electricians. But nothing seems to add up.
I know. Cold cases, they can leave you feeling unsettled. Like you need answers, but they might never come. We might not get definitive answers, but we can still try to make sense of it all, right? By looking at the evidence and the different theories.
One theory is that Stephen planned everything. Killed Rebecca, set the fire, then ran off. New life, new identity.
Yeah, that's possible, especially with his history of violence. But there are things that don't quite fit. Why leave his wallet? And his keys? If he was trying to disappear, that seems careless.
Maybe it wasn't careless. Maybe he wanted us to think he was a victim. Left those things on purpose to throw everyone off.
Oh, you're thinking it was intentional? Wow, that makes it even creepier. Like he really thought it all out. And it shows how important it is to think about what the evidence is hiding, not just what it shows.
And if Stephen didn't do it, then we have to look at who else might have wanted to hurt Rebecca. And
That opens up a lot of possibilities. Was someone else jealous of their relationship? Someone with a grudge? Maybe someone we don't even know about?
we keep coming back to those electricians. They were so weird about it all, and they were right there in Washington. Think they could be involved.
It's possible, but we can't just assume. They acted strange, yes. But we need something concrete. Something that connects them to Rebecca and Stephen. A reason why.
And after all these years, that connection is still missing. That's what's so frustrating. There are leads and suspects and evidence, but it doesn't give us the answer.
Yeah, and for Rebecca's family, it must be so hard. They've lived with this for over 30 years, always wondering what happened to their daughter.
It's heartbreaking. Sometimes, even after all this time, and with everyone working so hard, there are just no answers. But we can't give up.
I agree. Sometimes all it takes is one little piece of information, something someone remembers. It could be a tiny detail, something they thought didn't matter, a rumor they heard, a connection they didn't realize they had.
So if anything we've talked about makes you think of something, anything at all, please let us know in the comments. Or even better, reach out to the Indiana State Police directly.
You never know. Even a tiny detail could be what they need to finally get justice for Rebecca and give her family some peace.
We've brought you back to 1988, to Washington, Indiana. A fire, a mystery, and questions that still linger. We've gone over the evidence and the different theories, and we've seen how much we still don't know about Rebecca's death and Stephen's disappearance.
It shows how, even in quiet towns, there can be darkness hidden away. We might not have solved this particular mystery, but we hope you've learned a little more about cold cases, how complicated they are, and how dedicated people are to finding the truth.
Thank you for joining us today. Keep thinking about this case, keep asking questions, and never forget that even one small clue can make all the difference.